Okay. So we're going to rub this road. I've decided that I really don't want to continue with my road. That would mean that I'd have to make a wider berth here and bring it on in. I really don't like to have that interrupt my scenery in the front. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to create a river or some water, but because of that water, it is going to be foggy in this portion. So what I need to do is I'm just going to add a little bit of graphite around here, not too much, just very light sprinkles. And I'm going to use my rag. Well, where'd it go? Okay, for some reason it had legs and walked off, so I'm going to use a different one. Now I'm going in a circular motion for a very specific reason. I want that fog to be built up over the lake. Okay, now everything that we do from here on out is going to consist of the tiny little details. Alright, I have to figure out where I want the river to be at, or the pond, or the lake, so I think I'm going to draw a very light, sketchy line. I don't like the waves, so I'm not going to actually keep them. I may just go ahead and go straight on across for some of it and get rid of that area like that. I don't like that, that's just too wavy. Okay, your river will put off some edges called banks, your river banks, and you'll need to make sure you show them. And we're going to show some of the fog coming off of the river as well, because I think it'll look really cool. Okay, if you have not gotten this far, go ahead and stop this video, because the rest of it's going to be rather intense and probably a little bit difficult for you to go through and work on without me going even slower than where I'm at now. So take your time, try to get your mountain and your building done and whatever else you're wanting to add to it. If you want to add trees, let's say we might put a tree actually invading, because I don't know what to do here, so I'm going to have a tree invade this area. And it's just coming straight up, and it may branch up. And this, what's a good thing about black pencil is you don't really have to be that in particular about how you create your branches, or whether or not you have highlights to them. Okay, now you can figure on the wind blowing if you want to. So we may slope our pencil in this direction. And I'm creating my leaves in my tree. where the top of it looks like it's actually leaning in. But at the same time, I want to keep my branches seen as well. Okay, so that takes care of a little bit of this edge here, and I don't have to worry too much about what's going on. I might have a few little shrubs in there that is on the property itself. If I'm going to do that, and I need to make sure that I pull a little bit out to the side and on the mountain itself, so that it's separating from the tree. Now I can take a smudging stump. Now having the granular look, the grainy look of your tree really makes the bark look really good. So I wouldn't try to make it a solid piece. You want that grainy look because it'll make it look really good. But to darken it may be what you want to try to get across. And then you take your mechanical pencil and you make your little branches that way. Okay, it doesn't really have to be absolutely perfect. Okay, so now is the time that we use our knead eraser. And I have misplaced it again. I don't know what I did with the knead eraser. If you have a large piece like this, it makes it really good to use it like you would a regular block eraser. So now I'm going to create my fog. Okay, and I want a little bit of fog down in here. I want to be able to see what's going on, but I do want to have some of my fog in here. That means everything that in it looks, you kind of see it, but it's not really there, very visible. Okay, I'm going to finish my bank. I'm going to make my river bank a little deep, because if we have a house by there, we will probably have some fishing spots. Okay, see, we're going through our tree because it's a little foggy. Now, we're going to add our fog to our water. What you did was you added color to it, and we may want to add some other items such as a rock in the river or in the pond. You definitely want to add some of those nice little cattails. They love ponds, especially here in Oklahoma. And remember, they always look like little corn dogs. until they start to pollinate, and then they turn into great big huge cotton balls and on a stem. These are also considered to be very valuable in the gathering world, those that are foragers. These are very important. Okay, I'm going to add a rock here. Now remember, we still have fog, so we're going to have to delete some of this with our eraser. We want to make sure that we're able to have our shapes in here. See, we're lightening it up because we're adding that fog in there. Okay, you can add anything else in there. When we come back, you'll be able to add some more. So if you haven't gotten this far, please stop this video and go back to where you need to get the rest of this drawn. Work on your details, work on your shading, work on what is going to be darker than the other. And don't be afraid of whether or not it's going to turn out, because if you're afraid and you keep saying I can't, then you won't. You can say this is challenging, this is difficult, but the word I can't is not a good word to have in your vocabulary. Alright, I'll catch you on the flip side.